Morning campers, coffee time. Trump and Elon. Interesting, isn't it? I wrote in a poem 5 years ago when a line that said, when 5D chess was played with such finesse, because everything we've been watching for years now has been part of a play, in a way. We're watching characters in a play. And back in the day when I was in theatre, there was a thing we learnt about called the super objective. And that is when a character walks on stage into a scene and the audience knows they're a bad guy, for example, but the character doesn't appear like a bad guy to the other characters and says something that the audience is like, oh, that's because of when they're trying to achieve something beyond what they're saying. And that's when you're playing a part, you're playing the super objective, not the objective. The objective might be to walk on stage, go to the kitchen, make a cup of tea, but the super objective might be something completely different. And that's what we're watching right now, which is why you've got to chill your boots and see what plays out. Because I did a video recently about Trump talking about sunlight being the best disinfectant. So sunlight is being shone right now on Trump and the Epstein files by Elon. And this is also shining a light on the big beautiful bill and the EV mandate being removed. You know, and all of this depends upon your perspective and where you're at in the awakening. But, you know, EVs are blatantly not a good idea, including Tesla. You know, and there's people going, well, Musk is the guy that wants to connect our brains to the AI and blah, blah, blah. And he's flying into space even though there is no space. And what was that mouse doing on his rocket ship? And how did that car float in space, etc., etc. And there's other people who are like, well, Trump was friends with Epstein, he was partying with him, and he was on planes with him. The truth is that none of us know the exact truth, because this is a spiritual war and it's not normal, and you and me are all players in this war. If you're awake, and you've been speaking out, then you're an irregular. I think Lieutenant Colonel Ricardo Bossi referred to people like us as irregular soldiers in a war, because it's an information war, but it's much more than that. It is literally a spiritual war between good and evil that's been going on since way before we were born in these current bodies. And very strange things are going on at the same time. I mean, it's quite hilarious, really, how people seem to have forgotten about the aliens that appeared in the mall in Florida. They seem to have forgotten about all the drones that were flying across the sky not so long ago, especially in America. You know, I see ships every single night, and it's interesting, there's lots of fallouts going on left, right and centre. I've called in ships in front of people, but I don't go on about it. And I see ships in the sky every night. I've been visited by a huge triangular ship that had curved corners, was kind of burnt orange colour, covered in black hieroglyphics. And I'm not afraid to tell people about it, because I don't give a shit what anybody thinks. You know, I just share these stories for those people that are watching, who also have strange experiences that are afraid to tell anybody because of being ridiculed. Well, you have to get past. Part of the spiritual war is getting past being afraid of being ridiculed, and then developing boundaries. And when you see something massive play out on the internet and in the media now about Trump versus Elon, then, you know, your job as a spiritual warrior, or somebody who's just part of this, is to remain calm and watch it play out, because there's nothing you can do about it on a personal 3D level anyway. So don't panic, as Douglas Adams famously said. Don't panic! That was kind of crossing wires there with Dad's Army. But anyway, have a wonderful day, keep it frosty, and God bless you.